Welcome to the pre-fire strafe masterclass of boot camp. Goes a little something like this. Go corridor, start running, pre-fire, see person, knock them, pre-fire, see person, knock them, reload, push, see person, clear them, reload, get ready, see person, don't thirst, kill partner, repeat, rinse, champion! Well, hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and if you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too. I'm Bushka. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to have a look at the ESL Mobile Open, the last of the group stages. We're about to head off towards DreamHack in Dallas, which is the name of the offline. Basically, all these teams are going to get together at the offline, the ones that qualified anyway. And today, I don't want to so much call a final circle, which I've done in the last couple. I want to talk to you about the way these guys deal with the kind of situations that you and I, as normal teams, deal with day in, day out in public games. And it's quite educational to have a look at how guys like Beowulf there from Nova and you know, these boys from TT work some magic to both get through the tough times and basically take advantage of really rough spots for other teams, but also the way they deal with things that I get asked about all the time on channel. Stuff like, how do I survive in an open field in FPP or TPP when there's no cover around, and what can I do to help with that, and how do I manage to deal with a squad when there's just one of me on my own, and all this kind of stuff. These are the kind of questions I get, very specific gameplay questions. And much like this bridge camp here, you can see Nova do an outstanding job. Have a look at how well positioned TT are at the top of the bridge here with the DP28. They've got an overlook, and they've put the right bloke up top. They've got another guy directly next to him and two more guys watching the rear bank. They've got an overlook on the water, so anyone trying to come up over the bridge, you can see on the left of screen there, that's the far edge of the TT tilt. And on the right of screen, there is someone who's also doing the same, both underneath the bridge and down the gun line on the right. And Nova have done an amazing job. So out of all of that, they had one knock from Beowulf, and they've managed to not only revive him, but they're now suppressing down that gun line, trying to keep both the sniper on the top of for TT and the rest of the team interested so that they can get these two boys out of there. Now, this is not something that traditionally a standard public squad is going to deal with very well. The more moving parts there are to these kind of situations, the more likely it is that a team is going to fall apart or something is not going to work. But you can see Nova got out of that completely unscathed. They lost absolutely no one, despite the fact that that was a full squad of very good players overlooking and camping a bridge and being absolutely spot on in terms of their placement. Cue the disaster music as we move to the wheat, maize, corn, whatever subsistence freaking vegetable there is that's planted out here, whatever crop it is that grows west of Pubg before the coastline. This is an area that has long been the bane of existence for many, many people that play in squads, be it TPP or FPP, because neither of those really cares or differentiates between a zone that's 300 meters away over open ground. You've got to move and you've got to shuffle. You can see that Born Savages up there, they're being absolutely gatekept to a T by Nova. There's Cotto, Beowulf, Epic, and Edwin, all the boys doing good things to bad people, as we like to say in the classics. And that's just the way the game is. But you can see they are now 330 meters to the bad, behind a very, very wide open zone with squads all around them. And what generally happens in this situation when things really compress down hard as the Born Savage tilt dies a fiery death to an exploding engine block is this. There are three squads in very close proximity. There's squad number 10, squad number 8, and squad number 17, Orion Esports here. Now, Orion Esports have the only real cover of any note. They've got a little shack with a lovely picnic table out the front. They've had a good Beaujolais, and they're looking to finish the cheese course and then roll into the circle. But squad 8 and 10 don't really care about that. You can see Hot Cell and Demox and Abyssal right at the far edge of your screen. And what is going to happen here is problematic. One of these squads needs to wipe everyone to safely move to the zone. If they can't wipe everyone, then they will not, anyone will advance to the zone. And you're going to see these guys are all going to go down to either gunfire or the play zone. Because what happens is squads are so intent on not dying in these gunfights and staying alive that they wait way too long in cover. They don't have a lot of choice, mind you, but in this situation, the squads that do well are the squads that were very proactive, one with their vehicles and two with their zone management, and took a little bit of a risk and moved earlier. You're going to see after this gunfight is done, we're going to swap over and you're going to see SSG, and they have really rotated early. They've punched their ticket with a bunch of cars, a bunch of smoke, and they've queued up around the only small bit of cover they could find within the circle. Now, the plane is not exactly wide open. There are indeed many permutations in the ground and the topography. You can see here as we look at Orion Esports, the Raider boy, he is going up and down and trying to use this little bit of an edge to work. Demox, great player, but at the same time, he's in the blue because everyone's waited so long to move to the zone line that now everyone's just going to die to the zone. And this is such a bugger of a thing. And I can't tell you how often I've been running in on a zone and there's been another bloke across like 100 meters away and I'm just like, you know, we would both be so much better off if neither of us started this gunfight, but we both died, like trying to get into the edge of the zone. Cue the boys from SSG, and you can see there's Carnage and Sixless, Helmet and Angry. Great players, one and all. And there's a lot of really good players in this ESL Mobile Open. Don't make no mistake. They are some excellent, excellent players. But you see how they've got the hut there. They've combined it with the edge of that little bit of a, you wouldn't even call it a ridge. You call it a little bit of a hump, maybe a little bit of a berm. And then they've chucked cars and smoke and they've formed cover. It's broken cover, but it's the best cover. And in any final circle situation, there is a best case scenario or a best practice. What that means is there is like, if you want to have a 70% positive likelihood of an outcome, then you do X. But there's still a huge negative possibility there. Like 3 out of 10 times, the circle is going to move like it has for the boys here. You can see directly ahead is TG Grimes. And these guys are outside the circle. They did the right thing. They got their car here. They moved up to a small structure. They chucked some smoke. But at the same time, squad number 15 have rolled in and they've made a game of this. And they've blown up the car and everyone's outside the circle. And the same horrible maths of PUBG Mobile is about to exert itself. And these guys are going to be forced to gunfight to get to the next circle. In my opinion, at that point in time, the best thing you can do is aggressively attempt to wipe the guys who are pushing on you. The reason for that is quite simple. You don't just have to win this gunfight. Winning the gunfight is not enough. You have to both win the gunfight and have enough time to get to the next circle, because the blue line at present is pumping and pushing so hard that any length of time spent in the blue, coupled with just a slight overlook from even one other player who can put a little bit of 5.56 towards you, is enough to cause a catastrophic squad wipe. So there's no guarantees, but you can see the squads that are surviving and the squads that are alive are the ones who got themselves to the middle of the zone earliest, quite probably have used vehicles to get there, and are overlooking everyone else from a position of power. There are 14 left alive with 6 teams in this tiny, tiny little circle. They are using every single possible resource at their disposal. The slight permutations in the ground, the cars, the smoke. They've got converging fields of fire. SSG though, look at them. They've held this position. They've held it and they've solidified it, and they've more or less dealt with people on a case-by-case basis as they roll in. And this is exactly what you want to be doing when the squad gets to this situation. It's not pretty, it's not perfect, but it's absolutely the right thing to do. Sometimes you want to stay in the house on the edge of the circle and wait for that zone to push you out. But being proactive and getting ahead of the zone and actually dominating and owning that space gives you a much, much better chance of actually winning a final circle when it contracts around this area. And if it doesn't, well, fair enough. But you've played the odds. And if the circle screws you and goes to a house on the edge of the zone, Well, how often is it going to do that? Generally, it's going to move anywhere else but that one single structure. You look at these beautiful big bunches of smoke from all these teams. I mean, this is how you play at the top level. This is how you stay alive on these wide open tundras in positions where there is no great craggy overlook on a rock, or you're not sitting on the roof of a 3-story in Pachinki with a great view of a field and a sniper rifle and an 8x. This is the dirty, down and nasty side of PUBG Mobile esports, and it's one of the reasons why I believe it's such a superb vehicle for esports. It really makes people adapt and overcome terribly difficult situations. Nova really overcame that bridge like a wonderful, smooth machine, but you can't do that forever against these teams. At some point, when the circle stacks against you, when the terrain stacks against you, when you're out of smokes and things look nasty, that's when best practice and best case scenarios come together to form, what is a winning combo. And I find that quote that is quite famous, and I don't know who originally said it, but it's funny how the harder I work, the luckier I get. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. Work hard, get it done early, and you'll get lucky more often. Wait and be passive, and quite often what's going to happen is you're going to get your decisions made for you, and the game will decide whether you win or lose. I'd much rather be the guy where it's me against someone else, and that's how I decide who wins and loses. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed all this content relating to the ESL Mobile Open. It's certainly been an eye-opener for the quality of play that's available and the quality of human being that runs around in an esports uniform. And I can't wait to see what happens at DreamHack Dallas. We kick off there on the 2nd of June. I won't be there. I elected not to travel because I have some prior commitments in the UK, and then I've got to run around and get back here and make enough content for you grubs. But you can see SSG have looked like a champion this entire time. They've held their end of the bargain. The circles turned up and said, you know what, we like you guys a lot. We want you to be part of the tilt. Come on in and have a win. And you got to say that this is more preparation and hard work meeting opportunity than anything else. The play zone gets rid of uneven, and at the end of the day, SSG walk away a relatively unscathed champion. Hope you guys enjoyed that. They still had to take 13 kills to get there, though. I mean, they killed 13% of the lobby, so good on them. That's one team doing hard yards. I'm Bushka. Until next time, stay safe on the battlefield. Bye for now.